Happy Friday, and thanks for being a part of the program. In case you forgot, Maroon and White Night starting right now. You can almost hear the national anthem from here. Going to be a big night, and you've got plenty of time to get there. Half-court shots not till 6:40, I think, or so. And, of course, we've got athletes and dancers and cheerleaders and everyone performing and being introduced all night, and a lot of fun. So be sure to stop by if you can. The biggest fundraiser of the year, kicking off, of course, the high school basketball season. A lot of news to get to tonight before I can run out the door and try to get there as soon as I can. We'll go ahead and jump straight to headlines. And we actually begin with reporters from our Big Sandy News office in Louisa investigating the arrest of the mayor and treasurer of just across the river, neighboring Fort Gay in West Virginia. All happening today, charged, arraigned, and posting bond in the amount of $25,000 for each of the two women, one being Joetta Hatfield. She's the mayor of Fort Gay. Her treasurer, identified as Sheila Bowen, are accused by authorities of a number of thefts of city finances. Tens of thousands of dollars in totality, using city finances to pay the mayors, for example, electric bills and phone bills. Over $15,000 in cellular phone bills and over $8,500 or so in AEP electric bills. Both face the same charges for sharing in the scheme, literally in more ways than one. This all started after state police were contacted by the West Virginia State Auditor's Office in late October after numbers started to not make sense. Investigators say the schemes were subsequently hidden from the Fort Gay Town Council after the two would leave out or falsify financial documents that the Town Council would have put before them. They say that during the time frame from March of 19 through May of this year, they also took the city's checkbooks, numerous accounts, and wrote themselves checks, 107 checks. I understand, to Hatfield, totaling over $96,000, and over 100 checks written to Bowen, totaling over $94,000. I've got a lot of local news and information, and we'll get to that in a few seconds. Right now, the Kentucky State Police have a missing persons report that they would like us to share tonight. A man from Pike County, last seen in Floyd County, about a couple of weeks ago. What we know at this hour is that State Police out of Post 9 in Pikeville have identified this man as officially missing and last seen on November the 12th in the Prestonsburg area. His name is Michael Fogelman. He's said to be 26 years of age. He is from Virgie in Pike County. He's also described as being about 6 feet tall and 188 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes, and the subject of this most recent missing persons case in the viewing and surrounding eastern Kentucky area. State police are asking that anyone with any information about his location contact Post at 433-7711. Local news is next. Thanks to you, Fraser's Prater Drug has been voted #1 in customer satisfaction with Good Neighbor Pharmacies for the 7th year in a row. With curbside pickup for all of your prescription, allergy, or even multivitamin needs. Or come in and pull up a stool while you shop, or just visit downtown and treat yourself to something extra tasty or sweet. Where locally owned means a more personal, reliable, and friendly pharmacy. Fraser's Prater Drug.
There are several risk factors that may put a patient at risk for heart disease.
Especially people who have diabetes or hypertension or high cholesterol and have a family history of heart disease.
Neglecting to see a cardiologist can put you in trouble. You may develop problems that may not be reversible.
We see many people who do not have an actual diagnosis of a heart problem, but may be at risk of heart disease, and we do whatever we can to help mitigate that risk to help prevent disease in the future. ARH, more for Appalachia.
Johnson Central High School stands alone in providing the most college and career programs of study in one building throughout the entire state of Kentucky. This includes pathways in everything from the medical field to engineering, telemedia, welding, agriculture, and even aviation. And that's just to name a few of the 32 different choices. Work has also been started on a brand new state-of-the-art high school. So now is the time for your child to experience the power of opportunities in Johnson County schools.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in small town values.
And mom and dad and the things they handed down.
I believe some of the best people in the world are farmers.
I believe in insurance that protects families, homes, and cars.
I believe in always finding a way to do what you love.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
After a loved one's death, the holidays can be a painful reminder of all that's been lost. While others are celebrating the season, you're likely filled with painful questions. Should I hang my loved one's stocking? Can I just say no to social gatherings? How can I make the holiday special for my kids when I'm hurting so badly? At GriefShare Surviving the Holidays, you'll find answers to these questions and helpful strategies for navigating the complexities of this season. And you'll find hope in the process. Register now to find support, relief, and encouragement for this season.
For whatever reason, if your working days are over, don't do anything before you meet Grover. Social Security, disability, SSI, work injuries, wear and tear, and hearing loss. 888-9-GROVER. Experience over 30 years of exceptional, impeccable elegance and beauty at Seasons Florist, now in Salyersville. Offering the very freshest in floral designs, custom and in-stock wreaths, arrangements, gifts, and so much more that you'll have to visit to try to see it all. Plus, they have tuxedo rental, free delivery within the city limits of Salyersville, and you can even place orders after hours. Call anytime. Seasons Florist on Parkway Drive, 349-4000.
I love working in the coal mines, even though it was hard work. But if you suspect you have black lung, you can't work anymore. You'll find out that filing for benefits is hard too. I had friends who give up after years of trying. If it hadn't been for Big Sandy Healthcare, I wouldn't even try myself. If you think you have black lung, call Big Sandy Healthcare and get the help you deserve.
One of the ongoing cases of a Magoffin County individual being charged with sex crimes against children to some degree or extent is coming to a close after a not guilty plea has been reversed by the defendant, who was in Magoffin County Court yesterday afternoon and who will now reportedly serve up to 10 years in prison. 43-year-old Kent Simpkins of Salyersville initially pled not guilty to 3 counts of possession of matter portraying a minor under the age of 12 in a sexual performance, 1 count of distribution of the same matter with a minor under the age of 12, 2 counts of possessing matter portraying a minor over the age of 12 but under the age of 18 in a sexual performance, and 1 count of sexual crimes against an animal. However, yesterday in circuit court, he changed that not guilty plea to a plea of guilty and appears to have accepted a plea agreement that will send him to jail for 10 years on counts 1 through 3, possession of matter portraying a sexual performance by minor under 12, 8 years to serve on each count to run concurrently. On count 4 of distribution, also 8 years. On counts 5 and 6 for possession of matter, 2 years on each count to run concurrently, as well as 2 years for the count of a sexual crime against an animal, which is also a Class D felony. So to clarify, that is 8 years on each of the Class C felonies, all to run concurrently, and 2 years for the Class D felonies to run concurrently. However, that single 8-year and single 2-year term will run consecutively for a total of 10 years. He will also have to be a lifetime sex offender on the sex offender registration, while the Commonwealth opposed probation. This case coming as a result of a cyber tip when detectives with the Kentucky State Police were assigned a complaint that was reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. A search warrant for user information from the defendant's IP address and a social media account returned 5 images of crimes against children, numerous animal sex videos, and an image of the defendant engaging in oral sodomy with the family dog. Upon the raid of his residence, Simpkins reportedly admitted to police, giving them his email and user name and information and login to the social media accounts that were used. He again will be sentenced on March the 6th. And an arrest yesterday afternoon, before 1 o'clock in the day, by the Magafa County Sheriff's Department. A man becoming violent, spitting blood, and taking swings at the sheriff before finally being taken into custody. The citation says it was about 12:30 yesterday afternoon when Deputy Tim Clark with the Magafa County SO was sent to a single vehicle crash in the South Punchin area of Magafa on Punchin. When he arrived, he says there was a person that was said to have been unresponsive, and first responders were administering Narcan, 3 doses, to which the individual, identified as 44-year-old Kendall Slusher of Royalton, finally started to wake up. Still behind the wheel initially, first responders advised the deputy upon his arrival that Slusher would likely be aggressive, come out fighting, and that he'd already been spitting blood towards people on scene. When Sheriff Bill Meade arrived a few moments later, Slusher indeed came out swinging at the sheriff before being placed on the concrete after several minutes of struggling and resisting, and then being restrained and handcuffed and placed in the back of an ambulance. His condition was described as very violent and aggressive, and in a state of mind that could not comprehend implied consent. He was charged with DUI, assault of a police officer, and resisting arrest. And another indictment served and therefore made public and unsealed to us, returned by the Magafa County Grand Jury. This indictment done so just earlier this month. In this most recent indictment, the sitting grand jury and Deputy Neil Watson with the Magafa County Sheriff's Department, who was the one to bring the case before the grand jury, alleged that 39-year-old Brandon K. Rife of Burning Fork was in possession of methamphetamine in March of this year and later in April of this year as well as he was found to be or accused of tampering with physical evidence during the March incident, for which he was indicted on possession in the first degree, methamphetamine 2 counts, and a single count of tampering with physical evidence. Up next, your Farm Bureau Community Calendar, your Magafa Farm Bureau calendar, that is. Couple of quick reminders, holiday ones at that. The Holiday Vendor Fair coming up December the 6th. That's a Friday at the Extension office, 9 in the morning till 7. This is a whole day of crafts, food, jewelry, home decor, and so much more. Want to be a vendor? It's just $20 per table. Call 349-3216 next week to register. For everyone else, look forward to some really neat things to shop and see before the holidays. Country hams are available at the Extension office. You have to get your order in by December the 6th by calling the same number, 349-3216. My number here at the studio is 349-3699. The email is, as always, YourNewsToday@yahoo.com. Find me on Facebook. However, you can get your calendar announcement to me. Get it to me, and I'll tell everyone about it. From there, funeral service announcements tonight begin with services for 75-year-old Terry L. Porter of Sagersville to be held Saturday morning at 11 from the Sagersville Funeral Home. Porter passed away Tuesday here in Sagersville. Son of the late John Henry Porter and Pauline Howard Dodd. He is survived by his daughter Sabrina Jean Billingsley, granddaughters Savannah Jean Billingsley, Layla Diane Jean Porter, his sister Camille Prater, his companion Debbie Patrick, and a host of family and friends. Again, services for Terry Porter start Saturday morning at 11 from the Sagersville Funeral Home. Visitation will start Saturday morning at 9. 52-year-old Stephen Ray Stevens of Sagersville passed away Tuesday at Hazard ARH. Son of the late Bill and Elizabeth Fletcher Stevens, he survived by his fiancée Hilda Baker, sons Stephen Stevens Jr., Blake, Billy, and Ben Stevens, his daughters Haley Patterson, Van Dyne, Brittany Stevens, Brianna Stevens, and Angel Stevens, as well as his brothers George, Paul, Doug, and Brian Stevens, and his sisters Carol Harvey and Billy Rice. A memorial service will be held at a later date. James Joe Ferris, 50 of Sagersville, passed away Wednesday at Pikeville Medical. Arrangements to be announced soon by the Magafa County Funeral Home. And arrangements are incomplete and to be announced soon as well from the Magafa County Funeral Home for 89-year-old Rui McCarty of Sagersville, who passed away on today's date at her home. It's fall, and you can find it in all its warm, vibrant glory on the latest fashions, apparel, and accessories and home decor at the seasonal shop, where you can also embrace your inner claws as Christmas is hitting the shelves as we speak. Stop by anytime and pick out the perfect gift, birthday, wedding, baby, for anyone, and get cracking on those next level Christmas decorations at the seasonal shop in downtown Salyersville. Green Tree Forest Products wants to buy your timber. Our skilled log procurement team has 4 generations and 70 years of experience buying over 24 million feet of hardwoods every year, which means you'll get the most dollars out of your logs and timber by calling any of our 3 locations in Salyersville, Moorhead, or Wallingford, Kentucky. In the Salyersville and surrounding area, call 495-1198. Green Tree Forest Products. You can call it low carb because it is ultra low carb, and you can also call it one of the tastiest meals ever. Seasoned roast breast strips are perfect green beans, and cooked cabbage so good that sometimes I just get a pint of it and a Diet Pepsi and make it a meal. All you have to do is make your way to your Salyersville Lee's famous recipe. Someone dies in the U.S. every 7 minutes from an overdose, and over half of the population gets or takes pills from a friend or a relative. And about 46 million and counting are exposed to narcotics in their drinking water. So don't toss them, flush them, or leave them lying around. Safely dispose of your unneeded meds anytime at Parkway Pharmacy,
where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
SMB is proud to stand with you with what might be your very first and definitely last checking, savings, retirement, even Christmas Club account, along with consumer, auto, mortgage, business loans that you can easily manage from anywhere in the world with safe, secure mobile and online banking that comes from over 120 years of commitment to your financial life and well-being, today, tomorrow, and forever. Salyersville National. Another big recall this week, as one is now officially over. The listeria outbreak that I spoke of a couple of months ago now, it's officially over, not before. We understand a number of people got very, very sick. 10 were said to have died. 61 fell ill in a total of 19 states after eating liverwurst manufactured or processed by a very popular company, Boar's Head. The deadly outbreak of listeria food poisoning was tied to a massive recall of their deli meat. Federal health officials saying that it is now over. It's been 60 days, and with this type of an outbreak, 60 days is a long enough period to where they haven't had any other instances to be determined to be over. They recalled about 7 million pounds of Boar's Head deli meats that were distributed all across the nation, even shutting down a production plant in Virginia, and they have completely stopped making or producing liverwurst as a result. Now, it's not over as far as the investigative process is concerned. The Department of Agriculture is conducting an internal investigation into whether federal investigators and Virginia state inspectors responded to the reports of serious problems, and we are waiting to hear those results. Meanwhile, 167,277 pounds of ground beef contaminated with E. coli, recalled for fear of being contaminated with E. coli. Some of it certainly was. Some tests showed that indeed those samples were tainted with E. coli. They had a fresh date of 11/14/2024. The frozen products manufactured by or processed by Wolverine Packing out of Detroit had a production date of December the 22nd of this year. You can go to the FDA's website and find out more, see the labels as well, and the manufacturer mark as well. A ground beef sample collected by the Minnesota Department of Agriculture was one that tested positive. This ground beef mostly supplied to restaurants over the United States. All right, here's your forecast. Snow was right about what we expected, right? It was pretty, it was nice, it was short-lived, and your forecast still pretty much on par from where it was 24 hours ago. Very few tweaks to be made, but we still are focusing a little bit more on the Thanksgiving Day forecast, and that, of course, the weekend after, and we know a little more about that. I also know that we're not going hardly anywhere temperature-wise today. I mean, literally. We saw 40.5 degrees, to be precise, today for daytime highs. I am at 39.5 or so out there right now, and the forecast is really calling for a nighttime low of 40. So 39, 40 degrees, we're going to hover there pretty much the rest of the evening. Winds out of the north, 3 miles an hour a few moments ago. 11 mile per hour is the biggest gust. Nothing like yesterday, certainly. Relative humidity, 91%. You saw we picked up 0.15 of an inch of precipitation. Don't want to call it rain because really it wasn't, but we'll call it, some light precipitation. And sunrise, 7:22, sunset, 5:18. Here we are. This is our latest, taking us into Thanksgiving and beyond. 40 degrees tonight, again, roundabout where we are right now, 39, 40. Winds out of the west, 3 to 20 miles per hour at times. We haven't seen any of that great today here in the downtown area. I know some of you have, depending on your location and your terrain. 50% chance of some more precipitation. I checked the radar a minute ago. We're seeing a little lull right now, some more light precipitation that really won't add up to much. A tenth of an inch, if anything. 47 for your high. Here's your weekend, pre-Thanksgiving weekend. You're going to try to squeeze some shopping, some decorating, or both, or anything else in. Here's what you've got to work with. 47 degrees tomorrow. Patchy fog in the morning, mostly cloudy. Rain and everything else is over with as far as the moisture, and slight wind out of the west, 3 to 6 is all. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, calm winds, and 30 degrees. Sunday still, as I said earlier, a couple of nights this week, the day to get the lights up, if that's what you want to do. That'll be the best one of the bunch for the weekend. 56 and sunny on your Sunday. Nighttime lows well above the 30-degree mark and freezing mark at 38, partly cloudy. So pretty nice day temperature-wise. Monday's going to be a little warmer still, but this system brings with it more clouds and rain perhaps than not. Certainly more so than your Sunday, as Monday looks to be mostly cloudy. A 40% chance of rain after 1 and an 80% later on Monday night out ahead of this system. That will give us a slight chance of some rain Tuesday morning up before 7 or so, and that's it. It'll be dry thereafter, and I think skies will part Tuesday as well. Not going to help warm things up. Only 49, but mostly sunny and dry on your Tuesday. And here's the day before Thanksgiving. This is all pretty consistent here for a day or two. 47 Wednesday, more clouds, more rain chances. On your Wednesday, the biggest travel day of the year, 35 nighttime lows. Thanksgiving right now looks to be wet, more so than not. We've got a 70 to 80% chance of rain, 48 degrees and a low of 32 under cloudy skies. So there you have it. Best I can do as of right now. We'll see. It's almost a week away. Friday, after 40, partly sunny, still 50% chance of rain. That's it. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you back here Monday for more of Your News Today as we count down to Thanksgiving and a couple of days off. Yay. Good night. Thanks for watching.